Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yo, what's good, original crew, man? We're back with a body cam for y'all today, man. A little longer body cam. Woman discovers her boyfriend's horrifying secret. What do you think the horrifying secret?
I don't even know.
You don't want to talk about it? You don't want to think about it? What you looking like that for?
I'm just looking. I'm honestly just looking.
All right. Make sure y'all check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go if you want to first support. All you got to do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's visuals.
Like it with a thumbs up.
Hey, with that being said, let's go. Let's check it out. Let's see what's about. It's a little longer. So I'm going to try to refrain from pause. I'm sorry. See, like, boy, you better.
I know that Naomi would not run away from home. I done looked underneath the bed. I done looked in the closet. I've looked everywhere. I was like, well, maybe she's just hiding, planning to go sleep with you in the house. He's like, no, mama, she's not here.
She's got to be somewhere in some water and some wood somewhere, but I didn't think it was going to be like.
Pulled up and smelled something. I thought it was a hog. Well, I walked back up the rail just a little bit. Yeah. It wasn't a hog.
When 12-year-old Naomi Jones woke up on May 31st, 2017 at her home in Pensacola, Florida, she had no idea the horror waiting just around the corner. Later,
I ain't gonna lie, that photo do not look like she's 12 years old.
No idea the horror waiting just around the corner. Later that day, her mother received a call from Naomi's two younger brothers. They were fine, but there was no sign of Naomi, who was in charge of watching over them. As an investigation into her disappearance gets underway, those looking for Naomi have no idea just how close she is the entire time.
I had 2 missed calls and I thought it was, I was like, who is this number? And then I realized through text messages, I was like, oh, that's let me call him back. And it was, and he was like, Mama, I ain't seen Naomi. I done looked underneath the bed. I done looked in the closet. I've looked everywhere. I was like, well, maybe she's just hiding, planning to go sleep with you in the house. He's like, no, Mama, she's not here.
Knowing her 12-year-old daughter would never abandon her brothers under anything less than extreme circumstances, Naomi's mother, Shantara Hurry, left work and rushed home to search for her daughter. When there was no sign of Naomi, Shantara called the police to report her missing. Authorities took the report of a missing child seriously and jumped into action. Right away, they began canvassing the apartment complex where Naomi and her family lived and surrounding neighborhood, as well as organizing a foot search. Their efforts quickly turned up some distressing evidence. Outside the complex on the side of the road was a lock of dark brown hair. Naomi had a hair weave, and investigators suspected that this hair could have been torn or pulled free during a struggle. This theory was further supported when they found an additional lock of hair some feet away in the grass. Police, along with Naomi's friends and family, distributed missing person posters around the area. They also interviewed all of the residents at the apartment complex, including Naomi's younger brothers. Because they were the last to see Naomi before she vanished, it was important that police learn everything they could from the boys. However, interviewing a 10-year-old and a 4-year-old was no simple task. Most of the following footage has never been seen before.
I was in the bathroom there. My sister had walked outside and my brother told me Naomi's gone. And I went outside to look and then I called my mom.
What did you use to call her?
My next door neighbor's phone.
Were there any other phones in the house?
My sister's phone.
Tell me how come Naomi didn't take her phone?
I think it was because she wasn't going anywhere far. She takes her phone everywhere with her.
While the boys were being questioned, police also took the opportunity to speak more with Shantara. She was more certain than ever that Naomi had not left home by choice.
I know that Naomi would not run away from home. I also know that if it was somebody that she knew, she still would not have left her two siblings at home by themselves. If they feel any unction that Naomi is going somewhere, they hop right up, they're her shadow. You get what I'm saying? So I'm even wondering if my baby even has shoes on. Because I'm looking at all her shoes and whatever, and I don't see any shoes missing. You get what I'm saying? Like, if her not to say, Naomi, I'm going with you. It was nothing that gave my 4-year-old the unction that Naomi was really going for.
In addition to insight into Naomi's character, Shantara was also willing to share some of her suspicions about who may have been involved in Naomi's disappearance. The person of most interest, according to her, should be Naomi's father, Robert Jones.
What's your gut tell you about this whole thing?
Robert, I just want to try to figure out who lured her. It's not really much that can really lure her in either besides her father. The person who she wants to get her attention from, the person she hasn't seen in so long.
The police dutifully followed up with Naomi's father. Despite Shantara's certainty that he may have been involved, police found nothing to suggest that was the case. With his alibi verified, investigators moved on to questioning all of those in Naomi's immediate vicinity. Combined with an ongoing foot search for Naomi, this was no small task, and the FBI soon joined the search for Naomi. In addition to conducting...
So I wonder, is that the only name she gave was the father?
Probably so.
Like, could it have possibly been the other kids' fathers? If there, I don't know how many fathers you have, but could it have been one of them? You know what I'm saying? What was her relationship with those? You know what I'm saying?
True.
What about uncle or granddad? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not just look at her father. Let's look at every aspect that it could possibly be.
Yeah.
In interviews, police obtained search warrants for several nearby units. One such unit belonged to Lauren. Police were particularly interested in her apartment as it had a direct line of sight to Naomi's back deck, where the girl was known to often dance. They were concerned that her dancing could have attracted unwanted, inappropriate attention. In the course of searching the apartment, investigators discovered that Lauren's boyfriend, Robert Howard, spent a good deal of time at the residence, despite having his own home about an hour away.
How long have you been with Robert?
About 2 years.
About 2 years? Okay. Let's go back to, obviously this has been in the news for a week now about the little girl at your apartment complex, Naomi. What kind of girl was she? Was she friendly? Was she kind of...
She seemed like she was kind of friendly, just like a little girl. She would just, do like little dances on the back patio if I was out washing before my washer broke.
Does Robert live with you?
No.
So explain to me how that works out, because he's up in Bruton at work and he also keeps the place up there too.
Mm-hmm.
Like averaging a week, how many times do you stay the night at your house?
He always stays Friday and Saturday night because he's off. But
Just depending on his work schedule,
Yeah.
he'll come. And if you're at work, does he stay there without you sometimes?
Mm-hmm.
The story will only...
But that doesn't make sense if he's Friday and Saturday. Now Friday and Saturday that makes sense. Like it's the weekend, his off days, he come down. You know what I'm saying? Makes sense. He lives an hour away, so that makes sense. I want to spend time. I'm off work.
Yeah.
But does he come sometimes during the week?
Well, she said depends on his schedule. I guess if he comes during the week, but mainly on Friday and Saturday.
And then if you at work, why am I coming down if you got to work?
Depending on his schedule.
I ain't looking at that fucking part. Because if you got a job 5 days a week, depending on your schedule, what you fucking... I'm not getting caught up on that depending on his schedule shit.
No, I'm trying to figure out what you asking.
No, I'm not asking anything.
Oh, okay. Or insinuate. I'm just trying to understand.
I'm insinuating is that an hour away, I'm not coming to see you as frequently doing while I gotta work. I got a crib.
I got you.
Where my job is. An hour commute. If I got a crib here, doesn't make sense to come see you during the work week.
Mm-hmm.
I need to be work, come home. I can talk to you. I see you on the weekends on my days off. What I'm saying. During the week, if you gotta work, my schedule is my schedule. Now I might have a day where they be like, "Hey, workflow might, especially like if it's in the construction, workflow might be a little low." When or construction, or even in factories, you might not have to come in when you need to, but it's like that, and they might push it back or say, "Hey, we take the extra day off." But if you're going to work, that makes no sense for me to come. I might as well stay here because you at work. I ain't gonna see you. What I'm gonna be doing at your crib? I see you on the weekends when I'm off.
Take a bizarre turn from here. In the course of performing due diligence, police looked into Robert, and what they found sent alarm bells ringing.
What do you know about his past?
I know that he got convicted back in the late 90s, right after high school.
Do you know the details of it at all? Or what he's told you?
Some details about that. There was a girl who accused him of her and not being able to afford any kind of lawyer or anything like that.
So you had sympathy for him.
Just, he give you a privilege to come down. He was telling me about witnesses that wouldn't take his witnesses on his side, and they just listened to her, whoever that her people had for her.
In 1999, Robert Howard was convicted of 2 counts of assault in the state of Alabama. He served 15 years in prison before being released on probation in 2014.
How old was the victim? And then he's on the registry. He technically, and he was supposed to be in range and around. Are you okay and comfortable? Look into. I know people are, you can't judge everybody. Sometimes you gotta be wise. Look into people's history, especially if they got records that you can see. Like, look at that stuff, man. Right. Seeing how often do they keep their stuff updated? Because some people don't keep their stuff updated. Like, don't be a dumbass. And I ain't gonna hold you. It's a little alarming because we talked about it the other day where you do and you get on the registry and stuff, and you end up skipping state. It's alarming to me.
Yeah.
It's a little white. It's kind of like you're trying to run from something or hide.
Since then, he'd been registered as an offender. Upon learning this, police were immediately suspicious that he could have been involved in Naomi's disappearance and brought him in. Robert informs the police that he was at the gym on the morning of the incident and returned to Lauren's apartment around 11 a.m. Soon after, he went to see Lauren at work, and both returned home half an hour later as Lauren wanted to change her shirt. He further shares that they were only at the apartment for a short time and left again around noon so Lauren could go back to work. Robert tried to go to the dollar store but chose to stay in his car when it began storming. It seemed that Robert had a solid alibi for the entire day Naomi went missing.
After that, I headed on out to Bruton to go see a friend before they went to a funeral.
This is where investigators began to question the series of events. According to Robert, he left Pensacola to visit a friend in Bruton, then turned around and drove an hour all the way back to Pensacola, then went back to Bruton again to clock in for work.
Huh?
You catch my drift? That's what I was saying earlier.
Bruton's where he stayed.
And what's Bruton? Bruton look like it's what, Georgia? Because.
And then.
Let me see. Because
you weren't having.
You went to Pensacola? Where y'all go to?
Pensacola.
Oh, so y'all did go. Oh, he's still in Alabama, but he's traveling across state lines to his chick.
I figured it was. I guess it was his car that they showed. It had Alabama tags. I don't know if it was. I guess it was.
Oh, one car that had like Florida tags.
It was a Nissan. It had Alabama tags.
You talking about that white?
No, it was like.
You talking about this car?
No.
Oh, okay. My bad.
When When they said that he stayed in his car because it was storming
Oh,
and showed the car,
did that car
had
have
Alabama tags.
Did it? I didn't even look at the tags. I was looking at the other car tags. It does have Alabama tags. A little Nissan with the tinted windows. You putting a lot of miles on that thing.
But you wouldn't have went there where you stay or work or whatever, and then went back to Pensacola, then went back to clock in. No, that makes no sense.
I would just stayed.
That makes no sense at all.
I would just stayed if I got work.
No.
It's an hour away.
Right.
So that's an hour commute there.
He went there to go see a friend before he went to a funeral.
That's an hour commute there, an hour commute back. That's 2 hours. Now it's an hour commute back there. That's 3 hours wasted of driving.
That makes no sense.
This is where investigators began to question the series of events. According to Robert, he left Pensacola to visit a friend in Bruton, then turned around and drove an hour all the way back to Pensacola, then went back to Bruton again to clock in for work. It was clear that something wasn't adding up.
How come on Wednesday you went to Bruton, came home just to get your stuff, and then went right back to work?
I went to see my friend.
Uh-huh.
I mean, this is somebody that my girlfriend knows nothing about, so I went to see her because, like I said, her uncle had passed. I'm going to see her.
Right. How come you didn't take your stuff with you, though?
Right.
That just seems like a whole lot of driving to me.
I do a lot of driving, believe it or not, but I mean, I was dressed. I mean, I just didn't have my boots or my rain gear. So I had to come back to get that.
Do you know who Naomi is?
Yes, I know exactly who she is. I see her. Well, you see her every time we're in and out the apartment. Her and her brother's either out there playing with their dog, or they're on that back balcony, or they're in between the apartments playing.
That bad balcony where she's dancing.
Had you seen her at all that day?
No, ma'am. I ran into, I don't know the girl's mom name, but her and another older lady as I was getting ready to get into the car to head back to Bruton for work. And that's when she asked me, have I seen her daughter? Yeah, I was coming down the steps as I put my boots in the back seat, and I was getting ready to get into the car. Actually, her friend that was with her asked me first, have I seen a little girl? And I'm like, well, no, ma'am, I just came out the apartment. And she was like, well, it's my daughter. And I'm like, well, no, ma'am. She's like, well, she's missing. And I stood there and talked with them for a minute before I left.
This incident would have chilling implications later. While it was odd, it was far from a reason to detain Robert further. Police would confirm his alibis, but for now, they focused their attention on those closer to Naomi. For example, they interviewed Shantara's ex-boyfriend, Bruce.
Naomi's birthday was fit to come up, and she asked me for a pair of Space Jam Jordan shoes.
But you said you were just over there at like a little cookout or something, right? Like a month ago?
No, her mom called me over there. They was cooking shrimp and fish or something like that. And I went over.
Naomi texted you wanting certain shoes.
Yeah, she wanted the shoes, the Space Jams. And I said, since you've been good and you kept your grades up, I said, listen to your mama, obey your mama, follow what your mama say, and I get you them shoes.
I wonder, is this one of the other kids' dad? Because it is an ex-boyfriend. Because I'm like what communication? Or because the kids are young. So say for instance, I guess it would be like a father figure to her.
Yeah.
But still, communication. Why? You know what I mean? Because it's not her father for her to ask. You know what I'm saying? For the shoes for.
Now her mom's fall out. I don't text her nothing because she's saying I owe her $70.
According to what Bruce told police, his conversation with Naomi was simply his attempt to be a positive influence in her life. He also stated that he'd recently come back in contact with the family and thought they were on good terms. But when Shantara told him to stop talking to her daughter, he said that he respected her wishes and ceased all contact. Before parting ways with the investigation, Bruce gave some insight into Naomi's behavior.
Let me tell you something. Naomi don't go nowhere, sir. She don't let them kids out the house.
The boys were home. They stayed in the house.
Naomi don't go outside like that. Naomi like the phone. She like computers. She like to be in her room. She like to be by herself.
You ever see her go anywhere without her phone?
The phone was left in the house.
No.
It seemed that everyone who knew Naomi was sure that she would not wander off on her own. As time ticked on with no further signs of Naomi, The case was looking increasingly grim. The foot search continued, expanding to cover a 3-mile radius surrounding Naomi's home. But despite the monumental effort of the local police and the FBI, nobody could find any trace of Naomi. Police went through her phone and contacts. There they discovered messages from a man by the name of Tridarius Gray, who at 18 was 6 years older than Naomi. When they looked into the relationship further, investigators saw a few potential red flags and headed out to his residence to get some answers.
Okay, Tridarius, so you know Naomi, correct?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know Naomi?
Went to school with her.
Okay, what grades were you in school with her?
I was in 8th, and I don't know what grade she was in.
Okay.
What? See, what?
What type of school is that?
Bro, what? Well, he's in 8th grade, so, you know.
Maybe he was held back a few times.
All the
That's
time.
the only thing I could think of.
I'll say this. I was 12 in the seventh grade. And we did have a dude in one of my classes. He was 17.
In the 7th grade?
Yeah. Oh, it's a little spot right there. I was like, what's that? But it's coming from
I
like...
said spider.
No, it's spot.
It's
it's spot right there. I was like, oh, it's coming from
reflection.
Yeah. But we did have a dude in our class. He was 17. And then it was a dude in the 8th grade. He was 18. And I was like, bro, y'all dumb. And the girl, she was 16 and still in class with her. I was like, y'all, we 12. So, you know what I'm saying?
She would have been elementary? Okay. And so you've known her for how long, would you say?
3-4 years.
Okay. So with...
I'm sorry. I was in 8th grade and I don't know what grade she was. That doesn't make sense, bro.
Grade she was in.
Okay. She would have been elementary? Okay. And so you've known her for how long, would you say?
3-4 years.
Okay. So with that friendship...
3-4 years. So that would make her, when he first came in contact with her, 9?
9 or 8.
8 or 9 years old?
8 or 9. Mm-hmm.
And so that would make him what? 14? 14, 15 years old? You talking to 8 or 9? That's weird still.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. Now, if we jump it up to the 20s, you 28 talking to a 22-year-old, we don't see nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But on this level, that 6-year age gap's a little weird.
Yeah.
You know, like...
friendship that y'all kind of have, is it just like a close friendship? Y'all text every now and then? Kind of describe your relationship with her.
No, she just takes me out of nowhere.
While it was ultimately determined that Tridarius had nothing to do with the Naomi Jones case, this wasn't the last time he would be under police scrutiny. Almost 5 years later, in 2022, Tridarius Gray was involved in a serious crime where he shot his ex-girlfriend, Jacavia Simmons, and then took his own life. For Naomi's case, however, one phone call was about to change the trajectory of the entire investigation. On June 5th, less than a week after Naomi went missing, 2 individuals contacted emergency dispatch to report a gruesome discovery that would change everything.
Are you hell do we like to have this fish so much?
You guys were fishing?
No.
No?
We work together, and we really like to fish. Well, you know, that bridge has just been complete recently that I remember, and we were right there and we wanted to stop. You know, I was like, hey, we'll go check that out on the way back, because we were 2 blocks up the road on the corner, putting in a garage door. Well, we finished and said, okay. So we pulled over. And we pulled over, you know, just to look, because we like to fish. That's something that's one of the perks of our jobs, is we can stop and fish.
Mm-hmm.
Well, pulled up and smelled something. I thought it was a hog, you know, because the color and everything. I thought somebody done skinned a hog. Well, walked back up the rail just a little bit.
Yeah.
It wasn't a hog.
Yeah.
Tragically, what they discovered in the water was none other than the remains of Naomi Jones. Her body was in an advanced state of decomposition, which, combined with shock, is likely why the men did not immediately recognize what they were seeing.
He said it looks like a hall. Bro, they just sent shit. What month was this?
When they found her,
a week later.
June 5th. So this was a week. June 5th was a week later from
it's
when she
hot.
went missing. It's hot, yeah. And it's
in
in
Florida. Oh, yeah.
I mean, we didn't go down. We knew as soon as we saw, both started calling 911. We both knew what we had to do and just sat right there and waited. We didn't want to move, but the initial, before we even saw what was happening, we both leaned over the rail to look at the water.
Yeah.
And caught it.
Crime scene officials rushed to secure the area and recover her remains. Naomi's body was found floating in the water below 8 Mile Bridge, about 4 miles from her home. The foot search for Naomi had only covered 3. Naomi was wearing the red tank top she had last been seen in, but her American flag print shorts and underwear were missing. After locating the body, investigators likely weren't surprised when the medical examiner ruled Naomi's death a homicide. Now that they know they were hunting a killer, the entire investigation shifted. And as it so happened, Naomi's neighbor Robert Howard had never really left the police's radar. Part of Robert's previous statement had raised a red flag for investigators.
I was coming down the steps as I put my boots in the back seat, and I was getting ready to get into the car.
On its own, this statement is unimportant. Police likely wouldn't have noticed anything wrong with it if Robert hadn't contradicted himself just a few minutes later.
I mean, I was dressed. I just didn't have my boots or my rain gear.
To the average listener, you ain't gonna catch that. But when you're listening to examine and hear details and consistencies in the story, it automatically stands out. And now you become a suspect. Because you told a lie, but then it turned around and told the truth. And the truth and the lie cross paths, and it can't. Boy.
So I had to come back and get there.
When he was brought back to the station, Robert was left alone for about half an hour before detectives started what would turn out to be an exhausting, frustrating, and disturbing interrogation.
Let me take that out, yeah.
Is it all right if I just stand up in the room and stretch my legs and stuff?
Yeah, he's going to come in and get your buckles in a second. But yeah, you can get up and stretch your legs.
That I'm all back for?
What's that? Buckles? Well, we're just going to, go over some of the stuff. The other investigator talked to you earlier this morning. I had a chance to read over everything, and I had a couple questions I didn't get to ask you because I was busy. Okay. All right.
Once the DNA collection is complete, investigators then casually mention his Miranda rights before commencing what will likely be one of the most harrowing interrogations.
I do like when they slide the Miranda rights in.
Yeah.
I guess you not realize you know what I'm saying? I don't like when they be like just straight up front with a motherfucker. They be like, damn, they ain't gonna say nothing. But I like when they slide it in. You know what I'm saying? Do you understand? Like, yeah, let's go. But also with them knowing too that they get the Miranda rights.
Interrogations they have ever conducted.
The missing girl, have you ever seen her around the complex or?
See her all the time when we were in and out. They would always speak whenever we would come in and out. Other than that, everybody.
She dances a lot back there, doesn't she?
I guess.
On the balcony.
Well, they be back there playing most of the time when I see them as far as dancing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Was she friendly?
She always spoke. I say other than that, that's pretty much all I know about her. I said she would always speak. If she seen us, she would speak. Regardless if we seen her or not, she would let us know that she was there. She would speak.
Investigators likely took note of this, and instead of easing off as Robert had likely hoped, they press harder.
Did she ever come over to y'all's apartment or anything?
I've never been to Lauren's. If she has, she's been there when I wasn't there. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Lauren told me one day that they missed the bus and they came and used her phone to call their mom to let her know they missed the bus. Other than that, that's all I know about them being there.
Okay.
Have they ever been in your cars?
No.
Either one of your cars?
No.
Did you see that girl that Wednesday at all?
No, sir.
When was the last time you saw her?
I have no idea. It may have been that weekend, maybe. Between Friday and Sunday.
How often do you stay at that apartment?
With my regulations of what I can and can't do.
I feel like you'll remember that. You've just been there since Friday. You was like, because he said, when is the last time you seen it? I have no idea. Maybe that weekend between Friday and Sunday. What?
No. True.
Like you say, you see her all the time. Like I remember if I seen her
also
this
true.
weekend.
True what you're saying because it ain't
Especially
been
if
that
she
long.
always speaks. And she's on the patio.
And it hasn't been that long.
It hasn't been that long. It's just a weekend.
Do you stay at that apartment?
With my regulations of what I can and can't do, I'm allowed to stay anywhere 3 days, no more than 3 days. So I'll stay like 2-3 days at a time. I go home for a day. I can come back for 3 more days. So that's how I usually do.
You said that the missing girl was never in your car or anything like that? Mm-hmm. And the only interaction you've had with her is just like...
If I see her, she sees me, or she sees however we were, she speaks. That's it.
Do you hang out in any certain areas of Pensacola, or what do you do when you're here in Pensacola?
Pretty much at the apartment.
The police ask Robert if he's ever been in the Lincoln Park area. At first, he says no, then eventually concedes that he occasionally goes to church on the outskirts of the neighborhood. The discovery of Naomi's remains in the same area casts further doubt on Robert's initial denial of any connection to that part of the neighborhood, raising further suspicions about his involvement.
Your car, describe it to me. You said it's silver.
It's a silver 2010 Nissan Altima. Nothing special about it. Has a
2-door, 4-door?
4-door, yeah.
4-door. You know, tinted windows, rims.
Tinted windows, no rims.
As the investigators delve deeper, certain details don't only distress them, but also serve to solidify some of their suspicions.
What kind of girls are you into? I mean, what do you like?
Like grown women. I mean, women is my age. I mean,
Boy, you've been in jail before for some. Well, we didn't get the age.
Yeah, we don't know.
So, and that's the reason why I'm like, you can look at the registry and find out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But
really have no preference of what size or, you know, how fat or how skinny, how tall or how thin, but they're going to be legal. You know, I don't fool with no kids. I don't mess with no teenagers, anything like that.
I got you. I mean, you like younger girls?
I mean, I haven't been with anyone younger than Lauren.
What's the youngest girl you've been with?
Lauren is the youngest girl I've been with.
She's 30?
30, yes.
In response, investigators drop a surprise reality check to rattle Robert further.
What if I were to tell you that your car was in the area where her body was found that night?
No, that's impossible.
Why?
I mean, because it could have been.
Why? Tell me why.
Because when I have my car, it's either at work. When I leave work, I come straight back to Avenue, Lauren's apartment.
Did anybody else have your car that night?
No one ever has my car.
So you don't know, does Lauren ever drive your car?
She has a few times, but it's been a little while since she drove my car.
You don't ever loan your car out?
No.
Given his earlier statement about visiting a friend in Bruton for a funeral, police followed up on his alibi in an interview with Yolanda Mitchell, who was willing to challenge part of Robert's statement.
The only reason that I remember May 31st is because that is the day of my uncle's funeral. That's the only reason I remember that day. And he did not know that that was the day of my uncle's funeral. He did not know when I was going. He did not know what time the funeral was going to be. And I told the detectives that called me, I don't delete text messages. So I have all the text messages that we've ever sent to each other.
So it looked like he possibly was cheating on his, what was her name? Lauren.
And I think it was about 12:57 that I sent him a text that said, please pray for me and my family. This is going to be hard. And he texted me back like at 1:02 or something like that. I don't remember what he said. He said something about, are you okay? Or do you need to talk? Or something of that nature.
The thing about that is that we already have your phone records.
Okay.
And you were at the apartments at 1:30.
I was gone at 1:30.
Phone records show no, you were there at 1:30. That phone number you gave me is the phone number we subpoenaed for the records. You were at the apartments at 1:30. You were not in Bruton.
I was on my way to Bruton.
You were I'm not going to argue with you.
I mean, you don't have to argue, but okay. If you say I was at the apartment, just please search my life. I said nothing has been changed in my car since the day that the first officer flipped through it and looked through it. Everything's in there. If you find anything in that car, it's going to be from Yolanda Mitchell, where she sits in that front seat and talks to me. Other than that, that's it.
While Robert insists on his innocence, he likely doesn't know that the investigators have already spoken with Yolanda and gathered more incriminating information against him. She also revealed that he hadn't been completely upfront with the investigators about the nature of their relationship.
What was your relationship with him? It's not going to here. It's not going to be anything we're going to ever bring up other than maybe,
friends, but more than friends.
Okay.
Nobody really knew about our relationship.
Okay.
Sneaky link before sneaky link became a term. That's what I was assuming. They wasn't in a relationship, but it was like a little sneaky link. Because, like he said, my girlfriend didn't know about her. He's claiming Lauren, but they kept that on the low.
Yeah.
Investigators now get more aggressive in their approach as they push him further to the edge of truth.
I think one or two things happen. You either have a fetish or were attracted to Naomi.
The reason why I'm asking how old she is because they keep pressing him of
how old is this woman?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I wonder if she's younger because they keep pressing about him being attracted to younger women, and so I'm like, what's her name? Yolanda. I'm wondering if she's younger than Lauren because he said he never dated anyone younger than Lauren.
And Lauren is 30.
Yeah, and so if she's younger than Lauren, Yolanda,
then you lying.
Then we caught you in another lie.
I got you.
Because
I don't know. I don't know anyone.
I think he's in his 40s.
Oh, okay.
And you got her to get in your car, and things might have gotten, let's say, a little carried away, or either you're just a stone cold killer, man.
Well,
I mean,
it's
one or the other.
neither because I never got her to get in my car. She's never been in my car. That's why I've never cleaned my house. I've never cleaned my car because of that. So I feel like if I clean that car and y'all find it clean, oh, well, he cleaned it before we can get to it. That's why I didn't do that.
Why would you even think?
Because the day that when they looked through the day that they questioned us, I had to get a brake job done. I told.
What day were you questioned?
Friday.
Okay.
And I told the guy, I said, well, I had an appointment to get a brake job done at 10. I said, I'm not leaving because y'all questioned me. The other guy that was with him came, looked through my trunk. He opened my back seat, looked in, front seat looked in. And from that day there, I said, don't clean this car out. Because I feel like, it's eventually going to come. So I'm already, have a status offender. So whatever I have is going to be searched. I feel like that anyway.
Right.
Because I'm already a potential suspect. Again, you say that.
But wouldn't you agree you had time to clean the car before you were even questioned?
Sure, but I didn't. There was no need to. I told Lauren the same thing.
What made you feel that way?
Like I just told you. I feel like, when you look through it, I'm right there at the complex where this child's missing. I'm right there. I'm already, like I said, from the statuses over my head. Already. So I'm right there. So he's right here. So why not just check him out?
Right.
Technically, you don't even supposed to be at the apartment complex. Technically, because you don't supposed to be a range of children that are not related to you in some shape or form. That's the reason why most offenders they lives out in the outskirts, in the boonies. Reason why I do know people that are on the registry. Their registry is out in the boonies. Everyone that I know is on the register don't live in no city limits. They don't live around nobody. They don't live at an apartment complex. They live at a house that's out in, the country. Can't really be around, you know what I'm saying? And now you're very limited of where you can stay. And that's your fault.
That's why.
What police don't mention is that they've already done exactly that.
I already knew that.
And what they found inside made their blood run cold.
We have your car on video. We have your phone records that show your exact route from where you were at from the apartments to Bruton, back down to where she was found, back to...
Damn.
And they show exactly which route you went. You can't deny it. It's your phone number. It's your phone number and your phone records. You could keep denying it, or you can tell me what really happened and give your story of what happened. She's a cute girl. She looks a little older. Maybe you guys had something and...
How can we have something? I've never been around the child.
How do you explain, though? How do you explain that your phone is showing that you're going in those directions? How do you explain
this is showing, if you say you got my car video and you say this is showing all this, let me see it. Because there's no way that...
I know that's right. Pull it out.
Let me see it.
There's no way.
All right, I'll show you.
I like that.
A lot of guilty people always say, well,
What'd
you
you
got
say?
it, let me
She
see
said,
it.
okay, let me
they
show
need to
you
see.
then.
They need to really see the evidence you got.
Like, I don't have no reason to, like...
Well,
I mean, sometimes they do, but in this sense, I feel like she was like, we do have this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not hard to get this in this day, time to get this information.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you have technology on you. Sorry, my bad.
I thought you had pause.
My brain still be going.
My bad. That's my fault.
What's that?
A Nissan Altima.
Okay, and what is that supposed to mean?
That's your car.
How's it? Okay, so how are you just gonna tell me that's my car?
It's your car. Because your phone puts you in that exact spot that car is at the exact time that car is on that video.
Okay, if you say so.
We don't say so. I mean, that's what the evidence says.
That is not my car. That's not my car. That child has never been in my car. I've never had that child in my car. Like I said, me and that child has never been in spitting distance of each other. Never.
While Robert continues to build on his web of lies, investigators have solid proof. According to the medical reports, Naomi had been assaulted before her death. Before even breaking the evidence seal on the door of the vehicle, crime scene investigators noticed what could have been blood on the back end of the vehicle. When police inspected the interior of the car, they found similar stains on the back seat. As Robert fiercely denies ever having Naomi in his car, the investigators, certain they have him cornered, become increasingly confrontational.
So you are a cold-blooded murderer.
How
because you're sitting here deny. You don't care. You just put it like you just deny everything and lie because we have proof that you're lying.
But this child has never been in my car.
To me, a 12-year-old baby is dead. And you're sitting here lying through the whole thing about where you were for some reason.
I've never had her.
Must have stashed her somewhere.
I've never had her. She's never been with me.
She has. You killed her.
No, I did not.
What'd you do then?
I didn't do anything.
You were that baby.
Okay. I can't argue with what you think or how you feel about it. I can just.
She just turned 12. She's 11 years old.
I did not touch that child. I did not have that child.
Investigators found a windbreaker on the back seat of his car that was also stained with what could be blood. Chillingly, there was
He left all the evidence in the fucking car, didn't he? If this don't show, like, cocky and arrogance, bro.
Facts.
Like, bro, you left all the evidence? And I guess you was like, it's a car just like anybody else's. No, like...
Or just didn't think that they would ever suspect you.
Did you write what year he got out from?
I think it was like 14 or something like that.
Because he wasn't out that long.
He was locked up for 15 years. I think he got out 2014, been on probation. I can't remember. I ain't write all of that.
Only reason why I'm saying he hadn't been out that long, and typically they end up, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If that's what you do, you're going to end up doing it again. You know?
a copy of Naomi's missing person flyer on the dashboard, along with cleaning supplies in the trunk. Also in the trunk alongside the cleaning supplies were a pair of boots that Robert said he'd forgotten at home. A second pair of boots were also in the back seat.
The blood they found on the side of the vehicle.
Only on the side of it?
Yes.
What if I have blood on the side of it?
Mm-hmm. on the passenger side in front of the rear tire.
The most damning evidence investigators found while searching Robert's vehicle was blood on the exterior of the car, below one of the back doors. This could have been left when a body was put in or taken out of the vehicle. With all this information, police knew they were on the right track before Robert even started trying to sell them his story.
Was she scared?
I don't know why she was. I didn't have her.
Did she cry?
I didn't have her.
Did she try to fight? I heard she was a fighter.
I never had her, so I don't know. You asking me things that
Did she have a chance to fight?
I don't know. I have no idea. You asking me things that I don't know nothing about. She wasn't with me. I didn't have her, so I don't know what she could have did, fought, cry,
She cried
whatever.
for her mama?
I have no idea.
Did she beg you to stop?
I don't know what you're talking about because she was not with me. She was not with me. All aside, No, I said I don't know nothing about this kid.
And that's fine. I just want to know why you were over there.
When I came home, sometimes when I come home at night, I ride around to see what I can find out to hook up with.
Okay.
That's what I was doing.
Did you hook up with anybody that night?
No.
No, you didn't find it? Do you know that area or you just were driving
I just was
around?
driving.
May. You drive around this. Nothing.
So are you looking for workers?
I guess that's what I took from it, but I could be wrong. Like,
but you got Lauren.
yeah,
You got
I don't. Yeah.
Because you are a,
Mhm.
and that's what you originally went to jail for, right? So you need it all the time. You fiending for it all the time.
Okay.
So even though you got two women that you can get it from, that ain't satisfying you.
Mhm.
Or do you like the aggressive nature of it? Or ain't no telling.
I don't know, man.
That night? No, you didn't find it. Do you know that area or you just were driving
I just was
around?
driving.
Okay.
Just was driving.
What if I could tell you that you stopped on that bridge?
Where?
Right there where she was found. When you turn off Detroit on the Ashland there, you go up past that business a little ways and there's a bridge there with big concrete thing.
I'm looking at his body language. He know he's cornered, right? That's the reason why he keep every time he feel like he's cornered, he goes into the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, damn. And every time they keep dropping new evidence on him, he's like, damn.
Things and rails on top of it.
Yeah. Well, that's not the only time I stopped when I got back after that corner. That stop sign.
You never stopped on that bridge? You sure about that?
Yes.
Thought we were being truthful.
We are.
No, we're not. You stopped on the bridge to put her body in the water. Naomi's body.
Did you throw her over the rail or did you drag her around the side? That's the question I had. I was
didn't throw her on the rail. I didn't drag her around the side. I did not dump nobody. I did not dump a body anywhere. She was not in my car. Anything.
Is she in your trunk?
No. No. Not at all.
Why are you stopped on that bridge a minute and a half, 2 minutes?
And I did not stop on the bridge.
The video shows otherwise.
Okay.
It's undeniable that you stopped.
You said a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Yes.
If something like that was to happen, then you got clear-cut picture if that's the case.
He asked you, why'd you stop?
I did not stop.
The reason police were confident about Robert stopping at the bridge was because a good Samaritan, Charles Wright, had come to their aid. While Charles wasn't directly connected to the investigation, he had an interesting reason for coming forward to speak with police.
What made you go there to look for her?
Because, like I said, I don't know them per se, but if it was somebody in my family, I want somebody to look. And I just, any water, woods that I can think of, that's where I go.
And then you just stopped real quick
Right.
just to check.
Right.
Okay.
Because I mean, like I was telling her, she's got to be somewhere in some water and some wood somewhere. But I didn't think it was gonna be like.
Where you checked.
In a strange turn of events, Charles's assumption that she had to be in water or in the woods was right, and despite a random search, he stumbled upon the exact area Naomi would later be found.
Try to remember exactly.
So he didn't find the body first?
He probably, yeah, I guess not. No. It probably hadn't floated.
What you saw when you looked down. Did anything look disturbed? Anything look out of place? Notice anything just a little off, odd?
Not really, because it also rained Saturday too. If I'm not mistaken, I think it rained Friday too.
I think it rained a lot this week.
Yeah. It just sometimes it's just like kind of junky over there anyway. Like I said, people throw debris over there a lot, like deer carcass, stuff like that, trash. But maybe I don't know if I overlooked, but like I said, once you lean over the, nothing. So
While he wasn't the one to discover the body, Charles's knowledge of when her remains weren't in the water was invaluable. Police now knew that the body was likely not disposed of until after Charles checked under the bridge.
So, because I had went back on the calendar, she went missing on the 31st. The 31st was on a Wednesday. Charles checked on a Saturday. So on Friday, when they interviewed her, he hadn't disposed of the body yet.
Go to like the actual month.
This is the month.
I'm talking about.
See, the 31st is right here. Anytime.
I didn't see it's in gray. I couldn't see that.
This is 31st.
It's grayed out.
So Friday, remember he said y'all interviewed me Friday. So they interviewed him on the 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
After he was interviewed, Charles checked the 3rd, which is June 3rd, which is on a Saturday. He said it had been raining a lot that Friday and that Saturday. He said it was raining a lot on that Saturday, right?
And I think it
He said,
Friday
I think it was raining a lot on that Friday too.
And he didn't see nothing.
He didn't see anything because I was like, why? How did he not discover it? But the two white guys discovered. I don't know their names. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they found her
on the 5th.
Was it the 5th?
I wrote it down, June 5th.
They found her on the 5th.
Which was on a
They
Monday.
brought him back in a week later. What's his name? Not Robert. Is his name Robert too?
His name Robert Howard.
Because I had looked right there and it said Robert. I said, nah, that's a daddy.
Robert Jones is a daddy. Robert Howard is his.
So, you telling me you did not? Where was her body this whole time? Was it in the car, or did you take it back to Alabama with you?
Could have, but it's already well, I mean, it could have still been decaying, depending on if you've been moving it. If you had it out,
and they said her body had been rapidly decaying because he has had her exposed to the outdoors.
That's what I'm saying. So
he never buried her. He never put her in the water immediately. He's been traveling with this body.
I have so many questions.
So you telling me after the 3rd you had to come back down? The 3rd is Saturday. Maybe Saturday night he came because he's off Fridays and Saturdays. And then they discovered her on Monday on the 5th. Because they did leave their job. They had left work. And it's no longer raining. Let's look over like this. They done complete the bridge. Let's see, you know what I'm saying? And that's when they smelt it. Because the bodies are starting to smell now.
Yeah.
So when they interviewed you that first time, I'm still stuck on that.
Let me get the whole timeline and then.
Thanks to the medical examination, they also knew that the body had been in the water for at least a few days. This put a rough boundary on the period during which the body must have been dumped, a timeline strikingly in sync with Robert's movements that night. As Robert continues to play hardball, investigators pivot to asking him questions that might likely trigger him into confessing.
Do you have problems getting?
Never have. And as far as me a 12-year-old, I never.
How about you and Lauren?
They don't even, that kind of child don't even appeal to me no kind of way. To the point of I would even think about trying to have the child. Kind of stuff.
But also, like they said, and like I said, in that photo, us knowing she's 12, you know what I'm saying? But if you just look at that photo, I wouldn't think she was 12. I think she was probably like 15, 16. Because of the way she was dressed, she had makeup on and stuff like that. But I wouldn't have deemed her to be 12. You know what I'm saying? So maybe, yeah, you might not knew she was 12. You thought she was older. But you still have a thing for young girls.
It didn't cross my mind. I know nothing about this child. Who she's been with, where she went, who she went with. I don't know nothing. Nothing. Or any other child for that matter. Had nothing to do with that.
Why would you say any other child?
I'm just saying, just put it out there. Because I've never messed with the child, period. That's why I'm saying.
Now is your time.
My time for
when we walk out that door, we're done. You're not going to have another chance to tell us your side of the story. I told you I could prove you stopped right around that bridge.
Okay.
And then, not only that, Robert, you stopped on there one time when you're coming back towards Detroit, and a car passes you, and you got spooked, and you go back to Detroit, and it's all on video, this part. You take a left, go down, and pull right in a driveway. Wait just a second, back up. You come back, turn back on the road, and go back to the bridge. And that's when you threw her body over.
Okay.
They must got a camera over there.
Sounds good.
Am I wrong?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
How?
Because I never stopped.
You stopped the car. You also pulled out and pulled into that driveway. You know good and well you did. Why'd you do it?
Well, but I didn't.
Then why is your car doing it? Is an alien driving your car?
May have been.
Okay.
You said nobody else drives your car.
They don't, but hell, I mean, hell, if the alien gets it, I'm pretty sure, hell, I can't.
You said you're in your car at that time. And you're in that area. So who the f- else is driving it?
Right, you did say you was in your car.
You got a dead 12-year-old girl?
Okay.
And that's what you're going to go with?
And I'm sorry that she is.
Yeah.
When you're charged with murder?
How about this? She look the same?
She don't look the same. She don't look the same at all. I say I'm sorry about that, man. But like I say, I have nothing to do with that at all. Nothing.
No emotion. You're just a
I
cold-hearted
wouldn't even
killer.
be able to.
Robert has shown Naomi's image from the crime scene, another attempt to get a confession out of him, but it fails to elicit a response.
I was about to say I wouldn't even be able to look at those photos, knowing that I don't want to see that. But you don't have a problem looking at them because you did what you did, and you already done seen this aftermath. Because you know what I'm saying. It's been a while. You done had her body somewhere, so you already done seen the
Also,
the
a lot of
change
people,
the body.
A lot of people, especially like me, I don't even like viewing dead bodies.
Yeah, I know you don't.
Me, I can't. I'd be like, yo, I can't see that.
And it's a difference for me. Like, I don't have a problem seeing, like, deceased loved one, like, laid to rest or at that, it's a different. But she's not done up. She's not, her body is decomposing. She's not, like, that's a total, like, that's different. And the fact that you just, like, you have nothing.
But you had her flyer in your car. Like, you looking.
Like you somewhat care.
You said, oh my. Like, there was no reaction.
Nothing.
Of no sort. So that shows guilt, too.
That right there, not a normal reaction. People don't usually stare that hard.
Because, I mean,
at that picture
it's sickening.
as you are.
It's
no, it's not sickening. You're enjoying that.
No, the hell am I?
You're enjoying that.
I promise you. I give you my
People
word.
usually turn that picture over and they can't even look at it. It's so awful.
I just want y'all to get that tested because, like I said, that is not her blood on my car. That is not hers. Where it comes from, I don't know. But it's not hers.
You don't even care.
No.
I understand that you may feel and think that.
Well, I mean, you don't give.
Okay, that's just what I was going to say. You may feel and think that I don't
Where
give.
did you keep her body this whole
But as I
time?
told you before, I mean,
Did you
I
keep it
hate
in
this
Lauren
happening to
house?
this child. But that's not my doing.
What's
not my doing.
What's going to happen is they're going to know that this is.
This shit bothers me.
Maybe we'll find that information out.
My bad. I thought you was like, maybe we'll find it. I'm sorry.
I'm just like, maybe. I mean, I was kind of, but I was like, maybe we'll find that information out because I have that question as well. Because I'm a little confused as to.
Lauren went at home. It also sounds like Lauren ain't got no kids. So when Lauren gone, it's just you at her house. Makes sense that you can do something in Lauren home and nobody see nothing. But where was the body kept this whole time? Because if it was in your car, why does it make sense to take her all the way back to Alabama just to bring her back to dispose of her in Florida? But also, I guess if you do dispose of her in Alabama, it really
definitely will be a link.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
But you could have took her anywhere else.
I don't know, man. It's
That's not my doing.
What's
not my doing.
What's going to happen is they're going to know that this is how you were acting. This is the denial, the lying, pompous kind of attitude that you're giving.
How is it pompous?
Listen, but when you go up there and we're going to prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt, we're going to prove this case. And when you get up there and you're like, begging, Judge, please don't give me the death penalty. I regret. I feel remorse. I'm sorry to the family.
Yes.
You know what? This right here is going to come into play because this is your true being right here. You don't give a that little girl is dead.
Okay. And you keep saying this. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
Believe me.
you're gonna be begging.
I understand exactly what you're saying. But I'm telling you, this has nothing to do with me. That's why I want you to get out, and I'd be glad when it's done to prove that blood on that car does not belong to this child. That's why I never cleaned my car, because I figured this would happen.
A short break later, when everyone reconvenes for hour 4 of the interview, the dynamic has changed, and so have the interviewers. The female investigator has been replaced, and the new investigator wastes no time in putting pressure on Robert.
I mean, the technology. You watch TV, you see all the... We can put you at the scene, video, and we can also put you there by your phone, right? We can agree on that, okay? You admit to being there. So you probably have the better chance of winning the lottery than you do of being where a girl is picked up and where she is dropped off, murdered, whatever you want to call it, disposed of. Basically like a piece of trash.
Both locations.
Thrown over half naked like a piece of trash. It makes you look like just one sorry bastard.
I did all that stopping. I did all that.
Why?
But I did not dump this body.
Was somebody else with you?
I did all that stopping. I did all that. Well, you didn't do no stop. You said you stopped at a stop sign and that was it.
Bro.
Now all of a sudden we doing all the stopping.
Bro.
But you ain't dump a body.
Go
What
ahead.
we stopping on the bridge for?
Confess, my guy.
Like,
just confess. At this point, bro, just please. You got blood on the car, on the exterior of the car. You got blood on the interior of the car. You also are at the location where she has gone missing.
Your phone is being tracked.
Hold on.
Okay,
You're there at the location she went missing.
Mm-hmm.
You were there at the location where her body was found.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you're on the registry, my boy. You're on the registry. And now you said, oh yeah, I did stop. Oh my
I did all the
God.
stopping y'all said I did. But you know what? I didn't dump nobody. What you stopping
Confess.
for?
Just confess. At this point, just say, yeah, you got me. My bad, you got me, my boy.
Ain't my bad, but
no,
yeah,
I'm saying, like,
me.
just say, I'm just saying, see.
Yeah.
No, no one else was with me.
You were by yourself.
But I was told that something would be there.
What?
It wasn't this when I looked. Or I didn't see this when I looked.
What was supposed to be there?
It was supposed to be as far as.
You know what he did? During the break, he done went tried to think of something. Let me think of something.
That's
Somebody
what
told me something was going to be there. Why would somebody even tell you that her body would be there or something would be there? Why would somebody tell you? When I'm more than likely to go tell her parents her body would be there.
Well,
what makes you important enough for somebody to tell, hey, something going to be there?
Right. Makes no sense. But yeah, okay. Let's see what he's about to say.
What exactly? Is it supposed to be something to benefit me? Like that.
Huh?
Something to benefit me, I guess. No, I don't hope not. But it's just supposed to be something to
benefit me.
And I should.
Something to benefit me.
What are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, something to benefit you that you already had got. Something that benefited you that you were looking for. Man, you are.
They kept it. It was a note for me. What was a note on the car? All honesty, all inside. I said I never picked her up, never took her anywhere. And it says something to benefit you.
From Naomi?
No.
Who's it from?
It didn't have no name from nobody or to nobody. It was just on the car.
That is the absolute worst.
I'm
what you said, bro?
The God truth.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
Listen to me.
Okay, listen here.
Just listen to me.
Let me hear this.
Benefit you.
Okay. How's it going to benefit you? Monetarily?
It didn't say. It just said something to benefit you.
As the investigator continues to prod, Robert finally poses the question they'd all been anticipating. A question poised to unveil chilling answers.
They're going to make you out to be the monster on the stand. The only thing that you can say is, I didn't mean for this to happen. And that's what's got to come out of you tonight. I didn't mean for it to happen. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I made a mistake. All is not lost. But tonight's the night. I'm going to help you through it. I'm going to help you through it to take that weight off your heart.
You going to help me through it?
Yep.
How you going to help me through it?
Because we're going to talk about it. So I can give that mama closure. And let her know that you're not the monster that everybody makes you out to be. Because right now, I'm your only saving grace.
I just need some writing saying that, I guess I need to say you can't make me no deals. You can't. I just need something in writing saying.
How about this? We'll talk about this. And I will give you my word that I will go to the state attorney and I will say, he came in here, we did a little dance, but he found it in his heart to talk about this.
Boy, that still ain't gonna get you no
Yeah,
shit.
I about to say,
That's still in the state of Florida. That's still
nobody saying nothing.
In the state of Florida. This is a death penalty case. For one, you have
did what you did. I'm sorry. Go
first you have an assault case, and it's an assault on a minor. A minor under the age of 13. So that's all the boom, boom, boom. Again, and then a murder on top of that. Murder in the first degree.
Okay.
This is, and you already a convicted felon. Hold on. Also, you are a convicted felon. Convicted of the act previously before already. I could see them saying, hey, your life is in our hands. No, you.
I didn't have no say. I was just kind of. I just said. I was just saying this man wants somebody to have some sympathy for him. I know you can't cut me no deal. No, you done took this baby life. You done did what you did before you took this baby life.
He want him to cut.
Nobody about to cut you no deal.
Because he wants to see the light of day outside the walls.
You shouldn't.
That's what it is. He just did 15. He like, I can't do another long term.
Well, he should have thought about that.
Facts. He thought he was gonna get away with it. I don't know why.
I don't see how.
Boy, they already had interrogate you the first time. You should have already known. You should say, man, her body here.
Such a dummy.
He owned up to it. Whatever happens down the road is going to be up to them.
Well, okay, you telling him that, I mean, that's still not.
And then you a convicted felon, bro. Do you not know? Like, not in his defense or anything, but you already a convicted felon. Your stupid ass should have known. Just say, hey, I need a lawyer. And then you should have had, if you trying to get a deal, had your lawyer work out a deal. You a convicted felon. You should know that.
That's on him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to do any saving grace for him, but I'm like, that's your dumb ass fault.
Let me
You shouldn't even get yourself in this whole situation in the first place.
And I can't do that for you, brother. I can't guarantee you anything.
Right.
I'm not going to sit in here and lie to you and tell you that I can't.
They gonna lock you up with the evidence they already got.
Con number.
Sorry.
Enough on me.
This man said, I need a number. He said, what number? 20. He want 20 years.
Because he said, oh, okay, I did 15. I could do a little extra 5 more.
No, because I can do 20 at 85.
Oh, this is Florida. I be forgetting about the darn percentages of every states are different here and there.
Because in the state of Tennessee, it's 100.
Yeah, in the state of Tennessee, yeah, it's 100. So I be forgetting the other states is different.
I think it's 80. Majority of places is 85. Some places is 50, which is weird.
Yeah, that's weird, but yeah.
But he's like, I can do 85. I can do 15. Because I already did 15. That's what it is, bro. I'm not giving you no damn deal. They got evidence. They got too much strong ass evidence on your ass. How you gonna try to, bro? How you and convicts always try to think they smarter than the rest of us.
Think.
Bro, you a convict, bro. Go back to jail, you dumbass. No. You should be saying, "Can I get?"
What you better be hoping is that they don't.
That's what I was about to say. I said you should be asking for life and not the death.
That's what you should be worried about. And I know 20, just like.
Cause I ain't never stepped foot in Florida, but I know Florida. All they need you is 2 serious acts, and they gonna charge you with the death penalty off rip. You get you 2 felony charges, death penalty, and that
ain't nobody.
You got assault.
What you better be
minor and a minor under the age of 13.
Took this baby life and God knows
and
the other stuff you.
That too.
The stuff you did beforehand, boy. Bye.
Of time, 20 years. Yeah. I mean, I know that may not mean a lot, but like I said, I mean.
What do you think her life is worth?
Her life is worth more than 20 years. Did they find the candy in her mouth?
Yes.
They found candy in her
Oh my gosh.
mouth.
Yes. What was it?
It was candy.
What kind of candy?
I have no idea. I just know she was eating candy.
Finally, after 5 excruciating hours, Robert begins to give police the confession they've worked so hard for. But while he's now approaching the truth of his involvement, some of the details still don't add up, and it only gets more unbelievable.
She had came out, she spoke bad. Said she had like my shoes. And she said something that I didn't understand. I went on to my car. She was like, well, where's Lawrence? It's Lawrence at work. She said, can I come in with you? And I told her no. And she couldn't come in.
Man, not you trying to say
bro.
Boy.
I'm already pissed off, but not really.
You trying to blame it?
Really?
Boy, this shit. All right, we gotta get done with this.
We gotta get,
She kept on. I let her come over, I kept telling her no. She walked over to the steps as I was going up the steps. And she said, I'm coming in. I said, like, no. The further I went up, further she can't go. I make it to the door, she's at the top of the steps, and I tell her to go back home. Go home. Go home. She stands there and she's like, why can't I come in? Why can't I come? I said, because you can't. You don't need to be over here.
Unless you have already been doing stuff with her. And that's the
that would
only
be the only
way.
And it's still that's
the only way
man.
You have already been doing. And so she's wondering why I can't come now. And I wonder, do they have any evidence of y'all communicating? Because that happens. That happens. We've heard cases where that happens. That's the only way. Other than that, everything you're saying is a fucking lie.
You have convinced yourself that that's what happened.
No, he ain't. He ain't even convinced himself that was what happened. He didn't sit up here alive for 5 hours. Why am I gonna believe that's the truth now?
Right, it's not the truth.
I'm saying no.
Maybe.
In his version of the truth, Robert portrays himself as the innocent adult who attempted to discourage Naomi's advances, an account as unbelievable as the crime itself.
I really didn't mean for things to go where they did. I didn't try to hurt the child, but before I realized I had choked her out.
While Naomi's ultimate cause of death was asphyxiation, she bore multiple other injuries, including lacerations to her face, neck, and other parts of her body.
How? Just around the neck?
Around the neck. I choked her out around the neck.
But she was also...
I didn't really mean for it to happen. I didn't mean to do it. You know, I heard when she was found. That's why I said I would really like for them to take a DNA test, because they said when she was found, she didn't have on no bottom. She was fully dressed. She was fully dressed. I never took any of her clothes off. I never took anything anywhere. She was fully dressed. I even took her slides and left them with her.
At the creek?
Yes.
She had candy in her mouth. She had candy in her mouth. I'm going to either swallow it, spit it.
Well, they determined that was the cause of death, so...
Yeah. I'm saying, you put that candy probably back in her mouth.
Maybe so.
Also, the bodily wounds she had. You took advantage of her. She fought back. You got physical. Weird ass motherfucker.
I choked her out, yes. I'll admit that I did choke her out, but I did not. That's why I stressed them. Do a DNA test. No, do this. Like I said, no, did I have with her in my car? No, I didn't do any of that.
Just put her upstairs?
No, I didn't have with her anyway.
Obviously, she's a good-looking little 12-year-old.
But that for her was not.
Hold on. I understand we in interrogation, but I'm not finna.
Everything just weird.
Anyway, my intention.
Though it's likely difficult for the detective to talk this way, he's doing everything he can to minimize the crime to get a confession and get justice for Naomi.
Obviously, she's coming on to you. She wants to see her.
That's what she said, but that's not me. I understand.
It is what it is. I mean, she's trying to use it.
But that's not what I wanted from a 12-year-old.
Okay.
That's not what I wanted from a 12-year-old.
So you grab her by the neck, just shove her against the wall or shove her against the door or what while you were choking her?
In the corner of the wall.
Corner of the wall, behind the door in the corner? I mean, I guess at some point she went out.
Yeah.
Then what happened?
When she went out, I thought she had just blacked out, but I had choked her pretty damn good to the point where she wasn't breathing.
So she goes out, and then you're like, oh, realize what had happened. Then what?
At first, I'm thinking that she's kind of and so when I see that she's not, I really just panicked from that point.
Where'd you put her?
She was in the car.
Right.
in the back seat.
In the back seat. So you grab her, carry her downstairs, and put her in the back seat.
Honestly, I didn't know what to do. I felt if I tried to take her to the hospital, it would say that this is what I was afraid of. If I took her to the hospital, I would end up here.
Right.
Because, okay, I'm going to bring this young girl to the hospital, dead or whatever. So I feel like I just had to, try to get rid of the body.
This adds a horrifying new angle to the case. Thanks to the information provided by Charles, the Good Samaritan who had gone out looking for Naomi, police knew that Naomi's body had not been dropped into the creek until Friday at the earliest. That meant that Robert had kept Naomi's body with him for 4 days. Eerily, even when he had visited Yolundra, the body had likely been in the car the entire time.
Did you go out to the car when you showed up?
Yes.
Did you get in the car?
Yes.
Oh, she was in the trunk.
But she had to have been in the trunk. You probably moved her to the trunk.
You're not telling me you got a dead body in the back seat and she just get in the back seat and I ain't noticed a
Unless
dead
you
body.
got her covered up with something, and she really paid attention. But still,
you still would have smelt the.
It's the same day that she went missing.
But also she would have, you know what I'm saying, with people, the last bowel movement.
You were in the front seat?
Yes.
Did you look in the back seat?
No.
Okay, you didn't notice like maybe a raincoat spread out back there?
I mean, I'm sure he had his rain gear because it was supposed to rain.
Okay.
But no, I didn't.
Because he's saying she was in there.
I didn't look in the back seat. I mean, I don't understand why he would let me sit in his car if there was somebody in his car. Like, at no point in our...
She comes off a little young, don't she? I'm saying like...
Everybody just come off a little...
I'm saying younger than 30, though.
Oh, she could be. Or she
a
could be
little,
right at the...
Or she a little underperforming of her age. You get what I'm saying?
Interaction, did he ever seem like he was nervous or like he was worried about something or like anything was wrong? Like there was never a point in us talking that it didn't seem right.
Back in the interrogation room with Robert, investigators attempt to hammer out the final details of his confession. In the process, they make a heartbreaking revelation.
I see the ladies walking, so I throw my raincoat in the car, in the back seat, throw my boots in the back on the floor. Naomi's mom was on the phone, the other lady was just walking with her, and the lady, she stopped me and asked me and said, "Have you seen a little girl?"
She was in the car the entire time.
And when she asked me that, my heart just sank.
Just put her in the car.
Because you didn't know.
I already knew we were looking for her.
She's in your back seat.
She's back there in my back seat dead. And I'm like, well, I mean, I can't tell them that she's in my backseat dead. I mean, I said, no, ma'am, I haven't. And Naomi's mom was like, well, it's my little girl. So you know my little girl? I'm like, yes, ma'am. At that point, she was like, I don't know what time she went missing. She like, her brother doesn't even know. So he was standing out there with her. He was like, he don't even know when she left.
Man.
And I'm trying to get away as fast as I can because I don't need him to walk into my car.
Tragically, it appears that Shantara Hurry was within feet of her missing daughter's body during the first frantic hours of her search.
So sad.
It was also determined through the medical reports that Naomi was likely killed shortly after she disappeared. Horrifically, it seems Naomi had been dead for almost the entirety of the search.
I told you basically that I done killed the child, but
you did.
I mean, I didn't. Nothing. I didn't try to kill her. I honestly didn't try to kill her.
To gather further evidence on Robert's conduct after the crime and more clues on Naomi's presence in his vehicle.
A lot of blood. Right? I'm saying, can somebody produce that much blood from strangulation?
No. Unless other things happen. That's why I'm just a little confused, and I'm also confused.
Blood, like, dripping.
And I'm also confused as to, I mean, unless you can, I don't know. And I'm also confused as to What led, like, what was the reason?
He been scoping. He just needed an opportunity. And he saw one.
Vehicle. Investigators check with his girlfriend, Lauren.
When is the next time you rode in his car?
I really don't know. It's okay. You don't remember.
Okay. Just wondering if you remembered anything that stood out.
It's hard being so specific about these questions because, you know, sometimes when we think we know somebody, we really don't. But we have enough at this time to go ahead and charge him with murder. And that's tough. It's really tough because you have your own family to worry about.
I'm just really sad for you and your little boy because you don't have anything to do with this, and your sweet little boy doesn't have anything to do with this.
He wasn't even supposed to be around you.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry. No, don't be sorry. Please don't be sorry.
I'm sorry to have to tell you that.
Thought anything like that, you know?
Well, of course, yeah. Of course. You can't feel. You cannot. Do not take any kind of blame. Blame yourself. I mean, some people just snap. You know. You don't know what triggers them in their head.
Despite his acknowledgement that he killed Naomi, Robert still continues to spout off denials and can't bring himself to tell the whole truth.
And I have no kind of desire to be with a 12-year-old.
I mean, probably not at the time, but I mean, because she acts like she's 17, 18. Wouldn't you agree that she acts?
I mean, the way she came on, she said, yeah. I understand what you're trying to do. Even if you ain't trying to do nothing. I mean, maybe she was just talking to see if she could see my... I mean, I don't know. But I didn't show it to her.
But why would you even strangle her?
I didn't do anything to her.
As frustrating as Robert's stubborn denial may be, police have enough to charge him with the murder of Naomi Jones, and his interrogation ended soon after. In 2021, a jury declared Robert Howard guilty of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Eventually, Shantara Hurry, Naomi's mother, settled for $2 million in a civil case against the apartment complex owners on the grounds that they should have made other residents aware that an offender lived part-time on the property.
Facts.
While this is nothing in comparison to the...
And what's her name? Lauren got evicted.
9 times out of 10.
She got evicted. She cannot no longer... Bruh, it's a trickle effect.
And the reason why I was asking, like, what was your reason for taking her life? Because you keep denying that you did something sexual to her.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well then, since you want to deny that, what's your reason for strangling her?
And
like, it
obviously
she
had
loss of her daughter. We can hope that this might lift some of the pressure on the single mother and ease the family's path going forward.
The justice system still failed her because y'all didn't convict him for the assault. We should have convicted him for the assault as well.
Because I know it was there. Because like it just does not, child. Okay, life without
parole.
Life without parole. My condolences to her family and rest in peace to Naomi. Because
he assaulted her and it happened fast, bro.
What you said?
It happened fast. What? Weird. You know?
Yep.
Also, like, honestly, I was hoping they had charged him for both. I honestly was hoping they had got him for both.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they should have got him on both grounds.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I do. Because she wasn't, not just one crime happened to her. Multiple crimes was happening. He beat her, killed her, but first assaulted her. Then, not only that, the mom is actively looking for her. And you just not put her. It happens so fast. And because another thing I was wondering, I was like, why the complex don't have no cameras? It's 2017.
That too.
Or am I tripping? When it was 2017?
I didn't see the year. That's why I asked you. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what year was. If you seen it, I just didn't. I never knew what year was that it happened.
I swear it was 2017. Where is it? Let me see. Oh, y'all.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure. Is it in the?
Matter of fact, I could have
Is
just.
it in the thing?
The description. Nope.
No.
What was his name?
His name was Robert Howard. Yeah, 2017.
So
the article was wrote in 2017. If you scroll up, oh, it
Yeah.
said 2021. My bad. Go back up.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, it's May 31st, 2017.
Oh, it said May 31st.
Yeah, you be moving too fast, and I'll be looking. But May 31st, 2017.
So.
And then he was charged in 2021.
So there's information I want to know.
Or what is it? Convicted in 2021.
My thing is, why didn't we charge him with the assault? That's one thing. Y'all have evidence of that. I guess it's harder when it's not a confession, because she was in the waters. DNA probably was been altered in its essence. Was another thing. Where was her body for the 2 days? In the back seat of your car this whole time?
I guess his back seat. And I mean, I guess you can't really like.
So when y'all interview, that is true. So when y'all interviewed him on that Friday,
the body was in the car then,
bro.
Right?
Yeah.
Was it
the whole time at the police precinct? Because I'm sure, unless he went with Lauren, but the whole time y'all interviewing him, her body is out in his backseat. So what made you bring her back to? That's crazy, bro. I don't know. What you think?
Friday? They said I'm just looking because that is insane. It couldn't have been. It couldn't have been. You had to have put her somewhere else and then put her back, because if her body was in that car, then that is insane.
I don't think she got the proper justice though.
Know.
At the end of it, she got justice, but not the proper justice. R.I.P. to her though. I'm glad her family was able to get somewhat closure. Yeah. But $2 million still is not justified my daughter not longer being here.
Facts.
And he was never supposed to be there in the first place. Shorty, Lauren, he was never supposed to be around you. You have a child.
Yeah.
Do y'all not understand what the registry is? They cannot be around kids that are not related to them. Even with the relation of that stipulates their stipulation with the relationship. Because honestly, they don't. If it's not a direct connection, they're only supposed to be around those kids. Right. Like, no. Whatever. Hey, man, y'all spam us up in the comments, man. Let us know y'all thoughts about it for us in the comment section down below, man. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Tierra Nicole.
We are. We out.
Time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my folks. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please tell me you can hear